Have you been seeing these hands-off Venezuela protests and wondering who's organizing them? How did they pop up so fast? And why are they defending a brutal dictator? Well, here's the answer. One of the main groups behind these protests is the same organization that helped fuel the pro-Palestine protests across campuses and cities over the last few years. It's called the People's Forum, a far-left activist group based in New York City. And it's funded almost entirely by one man, Neville Roy Singham, a multi-millionaire tech entrepreneur turned Marxist. Singham is married to Jody Evans, the founder of Code Pink, the group best known for storming congressional hearings, smearing fake blood on their hands, and harassing lawmakers in the halls of Congress. Now, let's zoom out. The People's Forum is essentially a headquarters for professional activists. They describe themselves as, quote, a movement incubator for working class and marginalized communities. In practice, from their sleek Midtown Manhattan building, they host classes like Anti-Fascist Theater of the Oppressed, Collage Making for Liberation, and a 6-week course called A Summer School for Socialism. Last year, I began investigating the People's Forum after noticing something striking. They were central drivers of anti-Israel protests immediately after October 7th. One rally they co-hosted took place on October 8th, just one day after the massacre, before Israel had even finished counting its dead. The People's Forum is also behind protests against National Guard deployments in U.S. cities, anti-ICE, and now Venezuela. Back then, I followed the money, and public disclosure forms and financial records show that Singham and Evans funneled more than $20.4 million to the People's Forum between 2017 and 2022, accounting for nearly all of the group's funding. And they did this using a web of shell organizations and donor-advised funds. And Singham isn't just sympathetic to the Chinese Communist Party. Evidence suggests he's actively funded media outlets that praise Chinese leader Xi Jinping while ignoring or denying China's human rights abuses. So, when you see these protests pop up overnight, now you know they're not authentic or grassroots. They're funded, they're organized, and they're part of a much bigger ideological machine pushing socialism and an anti-American agenda.